Welcome back to DDL's PackReview series. My name is Peter Johnson, and as always, I have my colleague Scott Levy with me today. Today we're going to provide a brief overview on combination products. How have you been counseling your customers on combination products?
Currently, we need to understand what type of product they have. If we're dealing with a biologic, if we're dealing with a pre-filled syringe, we need to understand specifically what we're dealing with. A lot of the combination products that we're currently working on are multi-layer sterile barrier systems. All right. So, for example, we're dealing with a foil pouch with a pre-filled syringe inside. Which one is the primary sterile barrier, or are both the sterile barrier? Now, in the context that we're currently working on, it's a dual sterile barrier, meaning the pouch is sterile as well as the inside of that pre-filled syringe. So when you're dealing with something in a combination like this, no pun intended, you got to worry about that foil pouch. You've got to worry about that foil pouch in compliance with ISO 11607, and then you also need to worry about what's going on with that syringe, the inside of that syringe. Some of the easiest ways to execute a validation would be to execute the validation on that pouch, get the expiration date in, get the strength, integrity, the performance testing, etc. on that, and then take a look at the product itself. Now, when you're dealing with a pre-filled syringe, per se, for shelf life with the product inside, you're starting to fall into ICH conditioning or ICH guidelines. And it's going to be truly dependent upon what that product can handle. It's a very different look at how you do accelerated aging or conditioning, but that's what needs to be done with that pre-filled syringe. You also need to figure out on that pre-filled syringe, for example, if the sterility maintenance has been compromised on that. And in order to do something like that, you might do container closure integrity testing. There's various tests out there to be executed for that. But that's probably the easiest and fastest way to prove the sterility maintenance hasn't been compromised on that pre-filled syringe. So Pete, when you're dealing with your customers with a combination product, what are some of the challenges or issues that they're facing?
Well, as combination products are becoming more prevalent in the life science industries today, understanding, what your combination products or what the facets are for what determines your combination product classification, understanding that is key. Whether it's the medical device, as you mentioned, whether it's pharmaceuticals, biologics, could be, all of those parts. Each of those parts will essentially need to be evaluated individually in order to meet your regulatory compliance.
Yep. When I'm working with a regulatory consultant that's dealing with a combination product, odds are that the FDA is going to have two separate reviewers. One that deals with the pharma side of things and one that deals with the medical device side of things. So what I counsel them is to make sure that your ducks are in a row for both areas, for the medical device package testing side as well as all the requirements that are needed for that pharma side. I mean, when we start talking about the drug or the actual physical liquid inside that pre-filled syringe, well, then we start looking at the chemistry of that product. Has that changed over time? So there's a lot of other facets. I think that the biggest factor I can counsel someone is make sure you do your due diligence, understand where you're going to put your submission in, and make sure that if you're claiming it's a medical device as well as a pharmaceutical product, that all of the various aspects of each one of those has been fulfilled. Otherwise, you're going to run into a problem with one or the other, and which will hinder launching of the product. What would be a good approach? If someone says, here, I've got a combination product, we need to try to get this validated. What's a good approach that the viewers can take away and some things to consider?
Well, understanding what the constituents that make it a combination product are key. The interaction of those parts with each other. A lot of these combination products, because of the overlap with industry requirements, do require a unique and in-depth approach to make sure you're on the right path to meet your regulatory compliance process.
I want to thank you for visiting DDL's PackReview for combination products. We'll definitely have more to come down the line. If you'd like further information about combination products or other various services that DDL offers, please visit our website at www.ddltesting.com.